Hi and welcome into IncightTV. I'm your host, Lou Caputo. Today we've got a unique opportunity. We're going to meet the two gentlemen who actually started the company and see what their thought process is behind it. Please meet Jim Stoddard and Leo Young. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Great,
Thanks.
thank you.
Glad to be
nice
here.
to be here.
Now let me ask you a question. Why start this company now, at this time in our economy?
Well, that's a good question. And first of all, the economy has changed. We're in a modern economy, and people are struggling today. And they're still using the same methods, the same thought process that they did for their parents and their grandparents, but everything's changed.
Okay.
So it's time to introduce a new model, a new entrepreneurship opportunity in which people can come in and take control of their lives. And so the timing really is perfect.
So now when you talk about the modern economy, what exactly is that comprised of?
So, you know, the modern economy is much different than it was for our parents and our grandparents.
Okay.
And with globalization and technology, it's not the same world. And a lot of the responsibility for life has been put back on us. It used to be you could go work for a company for 40 years and get a pension at the end of 40 years and the gold watch, and you had a great life. Well, that doesn't happen anymore. The average tenure of a job is 4.4 years. Okay. It's not 40 years. Our grandfather didn't need to know about 401ks in the market and ups and downs and crashes and betas and computers and all of that. Also, just the globalization. So I have a service where I have an admin in India, and that admin actually outsources stuff to China. So we're in a global economy and we're competing in different ways, and we have to be prepared to be able to compete.
Okay. Yeah, definitely something our grandparents didn't have to worry about.
No, not at all.
On that scale. Well, let me ask you a question. I'm sitting here looking at you guys. You look like two very normal guys, okay? Why you? What makes you qualified to speak on these issues?
Well, Lou, it's amazing. We've been asked that a few times before. We're typically a little younger than most of the agents that most people see. And what has happened through our experience, both for me as an instructor, I was in many other industries, opened my own office, we really saw some shortcomings, some significant shortcomings. And what we're trying to do with this, for us, we met together and said, you know what, we can do it better. We can just do it better. I mean, am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't wear ties. I mean, first of all, we live in Florida. And
I noticed that. Yep.
Right? It's 1,000,000 degrees out with the humidity. But we don't wear white wigs anymore either like they used to, right? The whole origin of a tie came from sword fighting and protecting your neck. So it's just one of those things, just like we were talking about with the old economy. We just take for granted and think, well, this is the way things are supposed to be. So we are different. Plus our market, is middle-class America. And most middle-class Americans, they don't dress up in fancy suits and ties. Heck, even my pastor now, he dresses in jeans and a regular shirt. This is the reality of the world now.
Well, let me ask you something about that. You talk about middle-class America. Why the middle? Because most financial companies I've ever dealt with, they always go for the top.
They all go for the top.
They do.
They ignore the middle class completely. And so that's really a part of the reason is Leo and I are both products of the middle class, and they say white collar and blue collar. Well, growing up, I didn't even have a collar. I was a single parent mom who took care of us, and it was a challenge. And nobody wanted to come to speak to my mom about financial services and how she can protect herself and her family and the opportunities that she may have. So first and foremost, it's just a passion of ours. And the second thing is it makes good business sense. If you look at industry studies, all these other companies are going for the affluent market, and they're all doing the same thing they've done over and over again. And they're just ignoring the middle class market. And there's a $1.4 billion premium gap in insurance alone where middle class Americans are saying, we need these products, we want these products, but nobody's helping us with it. So at least for me, you'll see that passion. Leo?
Yeah, and to that point, so many times that middle class is kind of left to their own.
Yes.
They go into that job market like our parents went into their job market, get good grades, get a good job, climb the corporate ladder. Well, that ladder's different now. I have to own my retirement now. I'm the one responsible for moving myself forward. Globalizing this economy, there are fewer pension plans there anymore, so that that working class that built this country is being ignored. Like Jim said, there is over $1 billion gap in there. And we think that market is an important market because that's our market. Those are our people. And they have no real legitimate resource. And we think we can make a big difference there.
Right. It sounds to me like we've gotten to a point where we can't count on Social Security anymore. We can't count on working for a Fortune 500 company and getting that pension. So you guys are really stepping in and helping people bridge that gap.
Well, that's right. And we're helping that gap through educating people. So we all went to school and we learned about calculus and we learned, I took French for 5 years, I've never spoken it again, right? But nobody ever teaches us about personal finance. Nobody teaches us about a mortgage or life insurance or investment. And guess what? Those are all the things we all need to know about.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a rich guy, you've got people lined up to talk to you about that and help you educate you on that. But if you're, from families that Leo and I came from, then people don't talk to you.
Right.
How are you supposed to learn that? Yeah. Instead, we're still in this old concept of the old economy where we just, we do all the things that we're told. We go to school, we make good grades so that we can get into a good college, so we can get a good job. Sure. And we're just finding that doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, that mold's gone. It's done.
Yeah, and amazingly, I saw a stat just the other day, Lou. Social Security now is paying out almost in benefits, almost as much as it's taking in.
Wow, it's frightening.
It is absolutely frightening. So for me, if I'm just doing some real basic math and some basic calculations, at retirement, I really shouldn't be counting on that money. If they're paying out almost what they're taking in, what's going to happen? So I've got to own that. I've got to fix that. And there are modalities that we think we can help with.
Right. And Lou, I'll take it a step further.
Sure.
You hear financial planners talk about your retirement, and your golden years when you're going to be able to travel the world and do all the things you wanted to do your whole life that you worked for. I don't want to wait until then.
Right.
I want to do that stuff now. I had dreams when I was a kid of going to Italy, of going and doing different things, having a boat, having a house, having some financial security. Yes, we have to plan, but why do I want to wait till I'm 70 years old and can't even get around in some cases. So before I go, right? Yeah. So we live in the richest country, not only in the world, but in the history of society. And most of us are struggling, and it's getting tougher and tougher. The middle class is disappearing in this country. Yeah. So we offer ways to help those individuals, help them through not only financial planning, but life planning.
Right.
And we help them with opportunities to go into business for themselves, and to have flexible hours and to live that American dream that we've all had ingrained in our minds, but we've been using the wrong methods to get there.
Well, see, this all sounds so compelling to me, but how does someone get started if they're interested in this?
Well, that's a great question, Lou. All you have to do is have a want to, first of all. You got to have a want to. You have to have a drive to say, you know what? I need to get better. I need to change something. And with us, basically going to our website, clicking on the Get Started button, which is going to appear at the bottom of the screen here, and just take that first step. For most people, it's a daunting, scary kind of thing, but you can't be afraid because tomorrow will be the same as yesterday if you don't change something.
Let me add to that a little bit.
Please.
So a lot of financial companies come at you and they tell you about retirement, and we're going to give you a product, and we have this thing that you're going to get great returns. We really started a life plan, and not a financial plan, a life plan.
That's a big difference.
We take you through a process that's a holistic process. We call it the 6 F's. 6 F's stand for faith, family, friends, financial, fitness, and fun. Wow. And we use that framework to help you really identify what your life mission is and what your goals are specifically and uniquely for you. And then from that, we help develop a plan on how you achieve all the things that you'd like to achieve in life. We go through and we look at all the risks, what's going to keep you from getting there, and then we help provide tools to mitigate those risks so that you can be successful with your individual life plan.
Right, right. See, that's fantastic. And I've never heard anyone describe a financial planning as a holistic approach like that before, where you take all those 6 elements into it. All right, now I've got to ask the question. I know everybody watching home is probably thinking the same thing. Insight. It's spelled wrong. Why? It's obviously by design. What does it mean?
Well, it's when you say it's spelled wrong, it's because you're assuming it's either spelled I-N S-I-G-H-T, which is knowledge.
Yes.
Or Insight, I-N-C-I-T-E, which is to spur on or take action.
Okay.
So we are a combination of both of those thoughts. We're knowledge and action, and hence the line at the bottom.
Right.
What we find after many years in this business is that people really don't achieve their goals for really one of two reasons. One is they don't have the knowledge. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And so knowledge is the key to what we do. We're both educators, and we take that into account in all of the methodologies that we put into the company. The other thing is they simply just don't get started.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of times I'll tell people it's not important, as important what kind of vehicle you're driving or what kind of investment you're in. The most important thing is that you do something.
Yes.
Is that you get started. Because if you don't get started, you're never ever going to get there, what you're trying to accomplish. So Insight is spelled correctly in that sense. I will tell you, in today's world, that's probably the hardest thing to do is find a name of a company with the advent of the internet.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But we're pretty excited about the name, and we feel it fits in perfectly with what we do and what we're trying to accomplish.
So in a way, you guys are inciting a revolution for the folks in the middle when it comes to financial.
Middle class, absolutely. Like Jim said, get some knowledge, take action. You put that together, as we have, it's a powerful force.
Yes, it is. And I understand that you both actually give, or your company actually gives 1% of all your commissions to charity.
We do. We're very mission oriented, and you hear a lot of people talk about that, but we put our money where our mouth is. In our entire company, we have 1%, and we put it towards some type of charity that actually represents the values we have in terms of educating people on financial issues or children and families. That's really what we're about.
Now, it's a funny thing, talking about families, the story behind you two is very interesting. Because, you guys seem like you're great friends beyond
very
being
good friends,
business partners. Tell everybody how you met, because this is a great story.
Oh, this dates back to middle school, way back. We both went to middle school together and played baseball together and played guitar together and, and all that kind of stuff. And as we went through life, I changed to a different high school. He went to a different high school, and through the power of social media and technology, we've been reunited recently. And Lou, the really neat thing about it is we were reunited and really picked up right where we left off, but at a really unique part in both of our lives.
Right.
Jim was looking to make a change and to do something significant. I was looking for the same thing at the same time. I was looking to do something significant. And one conversation led to another, and goodness, here we are.
And of course, we were family oriented. Leo ended up being a single father and really had a commitment to his daughter and taking care of her, and that's something that's special to me as well, as being a father. That's my #1 role in life.
Right.
And so we had a lot of these similar things. It doesn't hurt that we both have, same middle school mentality.
Right.
But we're very serious about things, and
Yeah.
we're very passionate about what we're doing. And we're not doing this just because it's fun, although it is. I mean, this is a passion.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And I think the folks watching can see that as well. That you guys really live, you breathe this. It's your life, and that's not something you often see in people offering a service like this. Guys, thank you very much for coming to the program today. We really appreciate it. And folks, if you want more information on how you can get involved with Insight, click on the tab on the bottom of the screen and fill out the information right there. Remember, if you don't start today, tomorrow's going to be the same as it was yesterday.